I had a surgery called hemorrhoidectomy. It's a surgery when you have a pile and the pile is out of your anus. So I had the surgery and it got complicated. This was not healing fast. So from the hospital where I had the surgery, I was referred to another hospital. So when I got there, the pain was too much. So the nurses there were bombarding me with that pentazocine. When you read about pentazocine, it has what is called addictive agent.
Okay.
It has a kind of pleasure it gives. You sleep, you feel relaxed, and every pain is gone once you have it. After I've been discharged from the hospital, I realized I couldn't do without it. Even if I'm not feeling pain, it has already become part of me. So I just want it every minute. I didn't know it was an addiction. I didn't know, I didn't have idea. So until when I read about it, and okay, this is it. So I seek for help.
At what point were you discharged at the hospital?
Okay, you know, I told you it got complicated, and I was referred to another hospital. From that hospital, they refer me to another hospital.
There's about 3 hospitals.
Yes, and I was passing through pains. So, and whenever I'm going through pain, I tell them, okay, well, they gave me pentazocine again. It has been pentazocine. It got to a stage I had to ask the nurse, one of the nurses, what is the name of this injection you are giving me? And they told me it was pentazocine. So that was when I got to know about the injection.
I want you to literally describe the feelings. When you take this injection, like, break it down, how do you feel?
It gives a kind of pleasure, as in, okay, now you are feeling pains now, and they give you something that gives you a kind of pleasure. You feel relaxed. The pain is numb. You are not feeling the pains again, and you feel there is a kind of pleasure that cannot be explained. That it gives, just give a kind of pleasure. You just feel relaxed.
It's not as if it gives some kind of highness.
Yes,
pleasure.
yes.
It doesn't give highness, pleasure.
I don't call it highness because I'm aware of what is happening around me.
Okay.
I'm aware of what is happening around me, but it gives a kind of pleasure. You just want to relax. You just want to be on a spot.
Okay.
And that is how it works.
So at what point did you realize that you needed help? What year were you discharged from the hospital?
Okay, I had my surgery around March
2022.
Yes, and I fought the battle throughout the year.
Till December 2022.
Yes, throughout the year.
So after you left the hospital, how was the behavior with the pentazocine?
Okay, this is how I started. I had a nurse then that used to come home to clean the wound, to dress the wound for me. So I told the nurse that, okay, before you can touch this wound, you have to give me pentazocine. You know, I didn't know it was an addiction. But me, I just loved the feelings. So, and the nurses were giving me, I'll give them money, they'll buy it, they'll give me. So, as it goes, I just felt like I just want to take this thing morning, afternoon, night.
All the time.
Yes, morning, afternoon, night. I couldn't sleep without it again. I couldn't eat without it. I just want to take it first. In fact, it got to a point that, okay, I want it first in the morning.
Sure.
I want it first in the morning. I want it last at night. I can't do anything without it.
So after your piles got healed, how did you manage to continue with it?
You know, that is what is called addiction. After the piles got healed self, you know, I was already an addict, so I kept buying it, bombarding myself with it. The ampoules increased. I had to increase the ampoules. I started from 2, I went to 3, I went to 4. It got to a point it doesn't work for pain again. I didn't use it, you know, I'm no longer feeling any pain again. I didn't use it for pain again. I started using it for my own pleasure.
Just to feel all right.
Yes, just to feel that pleasure it gives, a kind of calmness. And once you take this thing, once you're an addict, you just find a way of isolating yourself. So I just had to be hiding it for people. So I started doing it.
Secretly.
Yes.
You said you're a music minister.
Yes.
Are you a gospel music minister? Okay,
yes.
Music minister.
A gospel music minister.
How did this addiction affected your music minister life?
Okay, is it positively?
Or music ministry?
Positive. Or
negatively.
Negatively.
Or how can drug addiction affect your music ministry positively? Did it affect it any way positively?
Yes.
Tell me, I'm interested to know.
Okay, when I realized that, okay, this thing was killing me, you know, there was a song I composed then. That was when I composed Atunse. When you check my page, you realize I did a song, prayer song, Atunse. And I said, Ayé mi ò gbọdọ̀ bàjẹ́ lójú rẹ baba. Most of those songs I released then was because of what I was passing through. That gave me the inspiration. Yes.
So that was a positive side.
That is a positive. But
how it affected you negatively?
You know, when you're an addict, there is a way that will make you to isolate yourself. You don't want to mingle with people. Even if you have an outing, you don't want to go.
Yeah.
The only thing you want to do as an addict is just to take your substance or your drugs and be fine. You cannot pursue your career. You cannot pursue education. You cannot do anything. In fact, you don't mind losing your family. You don't mind losing career.
Have you ever found yourself in a position whereby you are in the church and you are feeling the urge to take it?
I'm in a church there. You don't even tell me. Have I even find myself? I have found myself in a position that, okay, I'm preparing for church. I had the urge. I couldn't go to church again.
After you were discharged at the hospital, did you at any point borrow a loan just for the cost of the addiction mainly?
Yes.
Like in rough estimation, like how much can you say you borrowed?
Hey, I borrowed money.
In rough estimation.
Borrowed more, not less than 5 million.
That you spent on
On
Pentazocine?
Pentazocine, yes.
5 million
Nothing
naira.
less than 5 million, yes.
Nothing less.
Nothing less than 5 million naira.
Is it that serious?
Yes.
How did it affect you? Your relationship? Maybe your
My spouse.
Your spouse, your family relationship. Like, how does it affect you?
It affected them because my spouse had no idea about addiction. So to him, it's like, okay, I'm just a waster. I'm possessed. In fact, there was a time a woman told me, are you possessed? I said, I'm not possessed. I don't know. But since they don't have idea about these things, so I kept hiding it for them. There was a particular time I started hiding it for them. So it affected me. But I can tell you, I was there alone till I got help. I didn't see any emotional support. I didn't see any support from anyone. It affected every area of my life.
Let us talk about your recovery journey. At what point did you know that, you've gotten to a junction where you need revival? You need to be revived.
Okay. Everyone left. Nobody was with me.
Friends, acquaintances? Friends,
everyone.
Families.
Spouse.
Even your spouse?
They left me. I'm not saying this to degrade anyone's efforts, right? Everyone left me in that position. Everyone left. Nobody was with me.
Friends, acquaintances?
Friends, everyone. Families. Spouse.
Even your spouse?
They left me. I'm not saying this to degrade anyone's efforts, right? Everyone left me in that position. But when I realized that, okay, this thing will kill me, I knew something was happening to me, and that was my first step to recovery. I knew that, okay, there is a power beyond me that I can't control. And I knew that by then I needed help. So I seek for help.
Religious people will say that religious people will associate this addiction to spiritual. Do you think your own is more spiritual or physical?
Addiction itself is spiritual. And that is what John 10:10 told us. He said the thief has come to kill, to steal, and to destroy. And that is what addiction does. Addiction will finish you. Addiction is spiritual. You know, something is controlling you. Addiction is spiritual. This is a power you cannot control. You don't have control over it. In fact, I got to read about it where it said, you will know that this thing will kill you. You know that this thing will kill you.
But you still continue
and you will continue doing it. In fact, there is a time you will take it. After taking the injection, you will start crying. And you will tell yourself that moment that this thing, I'm not taking it tomorrow. Don't worry. That tomorrow, it is the cravings and the urges that will wake you up.
What advice would you give to someone in hospital now? Maybe someone suffering pains and maybe they are administering Pentazocine. What advice would you give this person if the person sees this video?
There's no amount of... In fact, I went for my clinical post recently in school. And I saw people battling with pains. I do not give them above what it is prescribed for them.
Oh, you are a medical person?
Yes, I do not give them more than what the doctor asked me to give them. And that was what affected me. The nurses were bombarding me with it.
Beyond the regular dosage?
Yes, beyond the regular. And that was what got me addicted to it.
So what advice would you give to someone in the hospital that the medical personnel are using Pentazocine for?
Please, to the patient, let the medical personnel let them do their work. You don't need to let them do their work.
Okay, now does it mean that since you are a medical personnel,
yes,
you know about Pentazocine?
Right now, yes.
Do you think that was part of the factors, that made you addicted. I remember you said that you told one of the nurses to
Yes.
keep bombarding you, to keep giving you the
Giving
Pentazocine.
me, exactly. And that is what anyone can ask for. When you are in pain, you want something that will relieve the pain. Because I was in pain, I needed something that would relieve the pain. That was why I was asking for it. But the nurses would have helped me the more. But okay, I didn't be. In fact, there is a kind of there's a kind of method they can use. They can give me normal PCM, which is paracetamol, and tell me it is pentazocine. Because of course it is mental. Yes,
psychology thing.
yes. They can. There is a way they can do it, but because the nurses want to have their own too, because you know that it brings them a kind of money. Then yes, in the hospital, then I will tip them. They'll go and bring it.
Oh, so me. As a patient, you would tip
the nurses? Yes, I will tip them.
Just for them too?
They'll come and give
You mean these things are happening in hospitals?
It is happening, yo. It is happening, yo.
Serious?
That's how I got addicted, yo.
This is interesting. I think I will have to make a documentary about this.
Yes.
Like patients will tip a nurse just to administer a kind of drugs.
Yes. Even this pentazocine of 18, it's not something we should be buying in every cancer. It is not just an injection it is not a paracetamol injection.
Not a regular.
But, it's not. But because Nigeria is Nigeria.
It's regulated.
Yes. Because we are in Nigeria, you can get anything. And that is what is happening.
All right. So I want you to further tell me your recovery journey. Like, how did you overcome this thing? A lot of people. If you remember, you reached out to me some times ago.
Yeah.
There was a drug addicted victim that I took her matter up, and God help us, and she was able to recover. I remember you chatted me then. I want to hear your own recovery journey. How did you, literally get out of this thing?
Okay. I told you the first step is you realizing it that, okay, you have a problem to deal with.
Identifying the problem.
I identified the problem. So I seek for help. That was when I reached out to you.
Yeah.
So when I was not hearing the kind of feedback I wanted, so I reached out to a woman, and the woman got involved. She paid for my rehabilitation.
A stranger?
Yes, a stranger.
Paid for your rehab?
Yes.
Rehab process can be very costly in Nigeria.
And very stressful.
Okay, very stressful too. Yes, I remember.
Yeah, she paid for my rehabilitation and everything I wanted. But it is another thing for you to see and help her. Who will pay for your rehabilitation? It is another thing for you to be ready. Because when you get into rehab, you now face the cravings and the urges aspect. By the time you start to face the withdrawal symptoms, it will make you change your mind again.
Even while at the rehab?
We have people, I think we were 5 female. The females were 5, and we had like 20-something male. But as at when we finish, we were left with only 2 females and I think 15
guys.
Yes.
What happened to the remaining people?
They couldn't cope.
So what symptoms were they displaying when they were having the feelings of not being able to cope?
Okay, we have different kind of withdrawal symptoms.
Okay.
You can feel a kind of nauseated, tired, you feel weak, and the cravings will be so high. The cravings, the urge, they will come in another dimension that you cannot even you might not be able to endure it. That is why it is very important for you to identify it as a problem, for you to be ready that, okay, I want to be free from this thing before it can work.
So it is the readiness that will make you scale through the withdrawal symptoms stage.
Yes, that is the first step. And the second step is you cannot do this thing by your own power. You cannot do it by your own power. You have to involve God. I'm a Christian. And that is why I went to a faith-based rehab. You have to involve God.
At what point at the rehab, the craving stopped? You stopped having the craving feelings?
The 3rd week. So we had to give affirmation, to give testimony. That was when I heard others saying that, okay, before the 1st week, they felt like running away. In which I was feeling the same thing. The 1st week, I felt like running away. I wanted to run away. The cravings, the withdrawal symptoms, I couldn't eat anything. I couldn't sleep, and every other thing were happening to me. So, when we got to the 3rd week, 3rd to 4th week, I felt relaxed, calm. I was able to eat, I was able to sleep, and I give God the glory.
How many months did you spend in total at the rehab?
3 months.